I'm not suggesting he's D-class, but I can't bring myself to put him alongside Hamilton and Verstappen.
The McLaren fans could be angry, they can be united in their anger towards us. How does that sound?
I'm wondering if you're gonna maybe disagree with me here. Overrated?
I think if you want comments, you can put them anywhere else other than S, but it's gotta be S.
Welcome to Settle It, the fiercest sports debate show on the planet. I am your host, Charlene Smith. Now, I know we normally debate football, but today we are changing sports and ranking the best F1 drivers of all time. To help with this, we have F1 fanatics, FP1 Will, and we have Alex Gillon. Welcome, both of you. Are you ready for this?
Pleasure to be here, can't wait.
Yep. All right, guys, so here's how it's going to work. Each of you will select a driver and you'll debate exactly where that driver is placed on our tier list. So S being the top of the tier list, working our way down. There's no dodging, no sitting on the fence. Every driver must be placed. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Shall I start? I think good place to start, reigning world champion, Max Verstappen.
I mean, surely he's S tier, right?
It's gotta be.
We might be in agreement on this, but he is the greatest F1 driver at the moment, bar none. It's not close. It's not even up for debate anymore, is it? S?
I can't argue with that. S sounds good to me.
All right, Max Verstappen, right up here on S.
All right. And then next up, should we go Lewis Hamilton?
Sounds good to me.
The previous champion for that. I don't want to do two S's in a row, but
Ooh.
I feel like seven-time champion, got most of the records in F1 now. May have not been so good the last couple of years, but S tier, what are you thinking, Will?
I think if you want comments, you can put them anywhere else other than S, but it's gotta be S. Yeah, I mean, the greatest of his time. I think him and Max level pegging at the top for me.
All right, that's in agreement. Nice and simple so far.
All right, who have I got next? I think we might have three S's in a row here. I've got Michael Schumacher, another seven-time champ, dominant for Ferrari in the early 2000s. I mean, I can't put him anywhere else.
Did his comeback take the shine off his career a little bit? He did well in Mercedes, but got beaten by Nico Rosberg, who couldn't beat Lewis Hamilton mostly.
I mean, there was that, but equally, you still had those moments of brilliance. You had was it Monaco 2012, where he got that pole position. Okay, he had it taken away from him, but he has that pace still. That Mercedes was not the dominant Mercedes that we saw from 2014 onwards. You go back a career that spans from the early 90s all the way up to the 2010s. I think, you take the last few years, I don't think they matter. I think it's still S for me.
All right, you convinced me with the Monaco 2012, because I wish that was a real pole position. That penalty was brutal, would have been amazing. All right, put him S tier as well.
S as well, remains as one of the greatest dynasties.
Sir Stirling Moss, a Sir. What do you reckon?
You see, I had a rule coming into this that if they're a world champion, they're in the A or above tier. And I know Stirling Moss is not a world champion, but I think he's the best driver who was not a world champion, and I don't think I'm the only one who has that opinion. He was absolutely monumental throughout the early period of Formula One. For me, not quite in the S tier, but definitely A.
Yeah, he is widely regarded as the best driver to never be world champion. I feel like S tier, you have to have at least one world championship, maybe. So, yeah, should we go? I mean, it's a bit before our time, let's be honest. So we're reaching a bit here based on what we've heard. But what are we thinking, A tier?
I think A, yeah, got to be.
All right, well, this is easy so far. We're agreeing so far. We might get spicy in a minute.
This is a really boring video, I'm really sorry. Right, okay, I feel like we could disagree here because we're going right back into the modern day. Oscar Piastri.
Here we go. Now, I'm an Oscar fan.
Okay.
So I'll put that out there straight away.
Okay.
This year he's been incredible, but we are filming this in November. Last few months he's not been so good. I think halfway through the year I'd be pushing for an A, but that's probably my fandom coming in.
Yeah.
But I'll admit that probably is lofty. What do you think?
I'm completely with you on that. I think if we were recording this a few months ago, dead set A tier. I think he has had this championship in his hands and this could age incredibly badly, but I think he's throwing it away. So for me, I'm with you on B. Got to be B tier.
That said,
okay,
were we going to put him alongside who was regarded as the greatest driver to never win a world championship? That was probably lofty of us, I reckon.
I reckon
because he's not proved himself quite yet, I reckon he should have been B. I'm now thinking C. I support him. No, okay, I'm going to go back for B just because I support him. But probably C, maybe.
Yeah, I couldn't go as far as C. C feels like an insult, given what he's still done this year. He's in his third year of Formula One. I think there's a long way for him to go. But yeah, I've got to go B. I can't go lower than B.
All right, let's do B.
He's regarded as a calm, precise driver. How important is that in F1?
Oh, it's definitely important, like critically important in F1. F1 is so complex these days. There's so much going on. There's politics involved. There's obviously incidents on track. You've got to be able to keep your head. And we see someone like Max Verstappen often lose his head on track, and to the detriment often of his results. So I think that's a huge superpower of his, to be able to be unbelievably calm in the most extreme of circumstances.
Okay, keeping him at B. Yep.
Yeah, sticking to B.
I think keep him at B. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who have you got next?
Sebastian Vettel, multiple world champion, 4 world championships to his name, but they were all in one single era. Now, I used to not be a big Vettel fan because, he was against, I don't know, just no one likes a dominating driver, but he grew on me a lot in his latter years like he's really old, but you know what I mean. But he did only dominate in one era. I don't think, Piastri sort of level, is that harsh for a 4-time champion?
You see, I put him in S. I would have put him in S. And I'll tell you why I put him in S, okay? You're right, and I was in the same boat as you. I was a Mark Webber fan back in the day, so I could not stand Sebastian Vettel when he was winning his championships with Red Bull in the early 2010s. But he went to Ferrari. I think he grew on everybody a bit. And then, it was Ferrari and peak Ferrari, wasn't it? What's the phrase? The wheel was spinning, but the hamster was dead, I think is the phrase that we used with that, right? They didn't have the strategy, they didn't have the car. Meanwhile, Mercedes were dominating. I think if you put Vettel in that Mercedes, he is getting the exact same number of championships or more that Hamilton got in the end. So for me...
More? You think he's Hamilton Verstappen level?
He had 4 already going into the turbo hybrid era. You stick him in that Mercedes instead, for me, he has the capability of getting at least an extra 4 on top of that, beating Rosberg in 2016, and carrying through. So I would put him in S, and I appreciate that's going to rock the boat a bit.
He's one of the sport's best all-round racers. Can you agree on that?
Again, I don't think he is an all-round racer. I think there was that one era he dominated. He loved rear downforce, the exhaust blown diffuser era, dealt with that really well. And look, fair play to him. I'm not suggesting he's D-class, but I can't bring myself to put him alongside Hamilton and Verstappen. I'm sorry, I don't think so. I reckon, I was thinking Piastri sort of way. Can we meet in the middle and go for A?
I can meet in the middle and go for A. Yeah, I could never put him in B. No, a 4-time champion in B is an insult, not a chance. So right. A, I'll go with A, fine.
Let's do it.
All right, A it is. All right, who have you got next for us?
We have, another one from the early 2010s, Jenson Button. Now, I think you're going to disagree with me on this as well, because I would have gone A tier. Again, following my rule, if it's a world champion, I can't put them B or below. Admittedly, Jenson, the form was maybe more sporadic. You had some great years. 2006 was a really good year for BAR. 2009, of course, the famous year with Brawn. After that, we had flashes of that pace. He wasn't really the championship contender by the end of 2010 that we thought he could be. 2011, again, there were flashes. He challenged Vettel for the title there, had that amazing race in Canada. And I think it's those one-off performances that still keep him, albeit at the bottom of that A tier. I couldn't put him in B.
Yeah, I've got one word for Jenson Button.
Ooh.
Overhyped.
Ooh.
Overhyped.
Ooh.
Known as the tyre whisperer and all these sort of things. Do you know what? That famous race in Canada, was it 2011?
Yeah.
Super wet, longest race ever, 4 hours or whatever it was. Lewis Hamilton, his teammate at the time in McLaren, was overtaking him when Button didn't see him and put him in the pit wall. Hamilton could have won that race, arguably should have won that race. Not saying he definitely would have done. I like Button, I think he's a decent driver. I think in 2009, he was in the right place at the right time, won the championship, clearly was better than Barrichello that year. Decent, nothing special in my opinion for JB. What tier were you thinking?
I see your point, and just before I get to that, sticking with Canada, because I think Alonso could also have won that race and he took him out as well, didn't he? I think he sort of spent that Sunday just wiping out the drivers that could have challenged him, was the last one standing in the end. But for me, it's either bottom of A or top of B.
So let's look who we got down here. Level with Sebastian Vettel?
which is why I say bottom of A. So he's not, I don't know.
We haven't got an 8.5 though. We've got to go A or B.
Yeah, can we go somewhere in the middle? Yeah, can we stick him there? Is that fine?
No sitting on the fence.
Oh, okay.
I think we've got to put him down with an Oscar.
I will cave then. I will go B tier. I'm not happy about it.
Very reluctant.
But I'll go B.
Get him down there. Go on. He's lucky he's that high for me.
Oh, okay.
So next up, what could be a world champion in a couple of months' time? Not even that, maybe. Lando Norris. I've got another word for this other British driver. It's the same word as before. Overhyped.
I agree with you.
He's got a great personality, right? He's great at social media and stuff. I get why he's got a lot of fans, a lot of followers, but he's decent. I don't think he's anything special. I think he's a Button level driver. The fact that him and Oscar have been so close this season, I know he beat Oscar quite comfortably last season, and he's dominating Oscar right now. I don't think I can put him, it's got to be level of Oscar, B class. What do you think?
I'm with you. Again, not a world champion yet, so my rule, I can put him below A, that's fine. And yeah, I completely agree. Start of this year was, and end of last year really, was diabolical for Lando. I think there was bottles left, right and centre. He just didn't seem to have the mental fortitude of a Formula One driver. Nowadays, that's improving, and I think if that carries on, we could well be looking at a driver that wins multiple world championships in the right car. But equally, I think if we take 2025, we look at Max Verstappen and what he's done in an underperforming Red Bull. If that McLaren was was not as near the top of the standings as it is, then Verstappen runs away with that title easily. So for me, yeah, B tier.
All right, we're in
He
agreement.
is also a Grand Prix winner as well.
Still going B tier. Yeah, doesn't change anything.
He improved McLaren massively.
Doesn't change
Stays
anything.
there?
Stays in B.
All right, who have we got next?
Who have we got next? Is it your go or is it my go? I've forgotten.
That was you.
It's me. Okay, and we've got Jack Brabham. Jack Brabham. How much are you about Jack Brabham?
Again, probably a bit before most of our time, if we're honest. Brabham, did he found his own team?
He did. I think he's the only driver to win the championship in his own team.
I believe that's correct. The only driver to own his own team and win with it. That is impressive, isn't it? I mean, I think he's a 3-time world champion off the top of my head. That's impressive, but it's so hard for us to judge. I mean, especially comparing to modern era. I mean, they're virtually incomparable, aren't they? Different across different eras. But we've got to do it. What do you think?
He's a 3-time world champion, which I think puts him minimum A tier. And it was a 3-time world champion across, I want to say 9 years or something like that, across almost a decade. So that's quite a long period of time to be challenging for wins. Was dominant as well in Formula 2, albeit a very different series to what it is today, and there were drivers taking it at the same time. I think he won Formula 1 and Formula 2 in the same year. So for me, yeah, A tier.
Can I propose a raise on that to S tier?
Ooh.
Purely because he's the only driver ever to win in his own car. That alone, I think, upgrade a tier. What do you reckon?
I just think we look at the number of titles that we've got in S. We've got 7 for Schumacher, 7 for Lewis, 4 for now for Max, potentially more on the way. To put a 3-time champion in S tier feels that's too much of a push for me.
All right, fine, A class.
All right.
Settling on A. All right, we'll place him there. Who have we got next?
Ayrton Senna, one of the big dogs. I think we're both probably looking at S class straight away, I would suggest. Obviously before our era, but one of the most famous F1 drivers of all time, regarded as possibly the greatest natural talent of all time in F1. I gotta say, maybe controversial, I do think when you die in your prime like that, I think it helps cement your legendary status. Whereas if you go on a bit like someone like Hamilton is doing, you maybe then kind of always tarnish your status a little bit. But there's still no denying, still one of the greatest drivers of all time. Can we even argue to put him below S in any way?
I don't think so. You think about those individual performances, that Brazil race where he lost the gearbox halfway through and still came through to win. Like, you don't get that from a lot of drivers. He was an absolute generational talent, taken too soon. And I know what I've just said about putting a 3-time world champion in S, but I think this is the one exception where we can do it.
All right, let's do it. I feel like if we put him anywhere below S, the Brazilians would be coming for us. So let's put him straight in S.
Have we got any heightened security? We can get to get us home, yeah.
All right, moving on. Who have we got next?
We've got same era, and the man that of course replaced him at Williams following that 94 race, Damon Hill. Now, I'm a bit of this is where my bias is because this man follows me, so I can't, for me, straight in the S tier just for that. But Damon, 1-time world champion in 1996, should really be a two-time world champion. If you think about, again, that was the 94 season, wasn't it, with Schumacher in Adelaide. But it was such a short period where he was on top of the sport. And again, not necessarily his fault. He was booted out of Williams at the end of 96, found himself never really with that competitive car again. That being said, ends up in Arrows for 97, should have got a win there in Hungary, were it not for some reliability. So for me, I'm floating between A and B, thinking about where we put these other drivers, but I still want to go with A.
Yeah, I mean, I think because we're British, honestly, I think we naturally rate him higher. Yeah. I think if we weren't British, we would maybe naturally just put him a bit lower.
Yeah.
That being said, looking at what we've got down here, I just can't bring myself to put him on Stirling Moss, Sebastian Vettel level. I think he needs to go alongside JB, similar sort of driver maybe.
Looking at where the field currently lies, I'll allow that.
All right, B class.
Sorry, Damon, but yeah, B. All right. Please don't unfollow me for that.
Is he the only one that follows you as well? So he's just seen that and.
Yeah, he probably has. Bye, Damon.
Gonna settle there?
Yeah.
All right, who have we got next?
Jim Clark. Now we're going back away now. I don't know how your F1 history is. Do you know much? I mean, I know a bit about it, but not too much. Did he drive for Lotus? Am I right there?
He drove for Lotus, was again, taken in his prime. So, and then killed in a Formula 2 race in the 50s or 60s, I can't remember now, but early on. And again, he's sort of put alongside that Senna, that Schumacher, that tier of driver when you talk about these drivers and you go through the history of Formula 1. So for me, I'm torn between top of A, because I think he could have done so much more, and even maybe putting him in S.
He was a 2 times world champion as well.
Okay, that definitely helps. We can't put him in S, I don't think. I don't know. But again, it's just so hard because we're talking about so long ago now. He's literally in the 60s. Like, that's what, over 60 years ago now. Obviously, we're not that old, but it's just so hard to compare to these guys. I don't think we can put him in S. I'm happy to go with you on A, alongside Stirling Moss, Jack Brabham.
I think that's fair. Go with A, yeah.
He was actually regarded as one of the most naturally gifted. So settling on A?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's move on. Who have we got next?
Next up, back to the modern day field, and Esteban Ocon.
I was getting a bit worried about these lower tiers. I think we've got some drivers to put there now.
Yeah, Esteban. I think, is it C or D? I think is where we're sitting. And for me, the challenge is he's never had a competitive car. We can't really know what he is fully capable of. He's got that one race win, of course, Hungary 2021. Granted, Bottas took half of the field out that day. So, I think for me, and it feels horrible, but I think we've got to go D.
The thing is, it's got to be relative to what we've got here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's a D class, a D tier in F1 at the moment. I think he's sort of midfield in F1 at the moment. Like, not bad, but not great, but certainly not the bottom. However, we've got a board full of legends, world champions. I think for that reason alone, I think he's got to go D.
I agree with that. And even this year, I mean, he's been beaten consistently by Behrman now. So that's taken half a year. I think we're getting towards the end of his career as well. Yeah, D tier for me. Sounds good.
Would you guys not say he's been underrated at all?
Maybe a little bit. I do think he's a good driver. I do think given the right car, he could have done what maybe Button, maybe even Damon Hill have done, because I think he's good. He's just always been there or thereabouts with his teammate, never like dominated him or anything like that. Yeah, he's decent, but nothing special.
All right, settle on D.
There's an alternate reality out there where Ocon gets the Mercedes drive instead of a Russell or a Bottas or something, or replaces Bottas. I think it was 2020, I want to say, or at the start of that era. And maybe then we could put him a little bit higher up on this list, given a dominant car like, say, the 2020 Merc or the 2021 Merc. But for me, where the land currently lies, it's got to be D.
All right, who have we got next?
Next up, we have got Emerson Fittipaldi. Again, a bit before my time, but Will, you seem to know the history a bit more, know much about Emo?
2 times world champion.
Okay.
I'm pushing my knowledge here. 2-time world champion, one of the youngest of his era as well, I want to say. Then went over to the States and did very well over there as well. I think when you take that and you look at a driver who's so much of an all-rounder, not just in Formula 1, but across multiple series, I think that's minimum A. I don't think I could put S. But I'm going to go with A. If we look at who we've got in there, we've got your Jim Clarks, your Vettels, your Mosses. 2-time world champion, got to go in A.
I don't know. Stirling Moss, regarded as pretty up there. Brabham won in his own car. Jim Clark, regarded as one of the most naturally gifted drivers of all time.
But this is a guy that can win in multiple open wheel championships, not just in Formula One, but he can take that prowess and take that all-round approach and base it on other series in very different cars. So for me, I think that's got to go in A.
All right, I'm happy to go with A. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right, moving on. Who have we got next?
We have got an icon of the sport, a true icon, Niki Lauda. What a name. I mean, there's the story here that we all know, but for someone who could go through that, still then win a world championship, retire at the end of 1979, come back in the 80s with a completely different team, different regulation of cars, and then win championships again, that's got to be someone up there in A. I'm talking A and S. We might run out of space on our A tier at this rate.
I mean, it's definitely easier to talk about Niki, right? Because he's been around F1 pretty much until he passed away, was heavily involved with Mercedes. Obviously, we've got the Rush film as well, which definitely helps jog the memory. But yeah, obviously a bit of a legend coming back from that just horrific fiery crash and, returning, I think just 6 weeks after that crash. I think is when he tried to return and didn't quite work out. But definite legend. I don't think we can put him S-class, or S-tier, sorry.
So, 3 times world champion he is.
That's the thing, he's the 3-time world champion despite everything that happened. That 1976 season, he was still competing for the championship despite having that massive accident. That's how good he was in that year. I'm thinking S. I'm happy to, just because that comeback was amazing. Yeah.
It's just the fact he's had a film made about him, such an amazing story. Let's go with S.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, moving on. Who have we got next?
Next, we have got father and son on the board now. We've got Graham Hill coming in. Again, bit before my time. I think he was a 1-time champion, or was he 2?
I want to say 1. I think 1-time champion.
2 times.
Oh, I'm
Two.
wrong. Okay.
2-time champion, okay. Obviously, dad of Damon. Again, obviously, I wasn't around then, so I don't know. What do you know any more about Graham Hill?
I think my Hill favouritism is going to shine through here as well. Very good driver in the early years of Formula One. Did a lot outside Formula One as well. Oh, I don't think we can go A tier though. I think we're looking at a B or a C.
Can we put him below his son?
I think Damon was always seen as, I don't know, maybe.
He was the only driver to win the Triple Crown of Motorsport.
Okay, now that changes things.
Okay.
That changes things.
And he was exceptionally versatile across disciplines as well.
Do we think top of B or do we think bottom of A then with that in mind?
So Triple Crown is, am I right thinking it's Monaco, Le Mans and Indy 500?
Indy 500, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that alone's got a bump. I was thinking on par with his son Damon, but that alone maybe bumps him up to A with everyone else we keep putting in A.
Yeah, I think B is maybe the safe bet in that case. Stick him alongside his son.
Purely for the symmetry of the board, I like it. B, all right.
Sounds good.
All right, settling there. Who have we got next?
Next up, we have Nigel Mansell dipping back into the 80s and the 90s. This is an interesting one because, again, another driver that was very successful, not just in Formula One, but then also in IndyCar as well when he went over there in the 90s and did very well there. But is he on par with your others in A? I don't think so.
He's a 1-time world champion.
And that's why I'm thinking B or do I go C? That's dangerous. I feel like Nigel Mansell in C is no way.
Though, think about the British bias.
Oh,
he being British, we love the powerful moustache. Are we only putting him up there because he's British and we know more about him through that? I feel like we're running up against issues now we've set early on by putting it feels harsh putting him below Piastri, for example. He's literally won a championship and we're going to put him below maybe Piastri and Norris. But
I mean, we're running up the edge of the board at this point. We're going to run out of space. But I think, now I want to sort of move some of those drivers down if he goes into B, because I don't think we can put him in C, can we? We think about Red 5, right? That 92 car that he won his championship in. Is it 92 or 93? 92, I think it was. And that was such an iconic car of its era. It was so dominant, both on an engineering level and the way he drove it and dominated that year. And for me, that's got to be minimum B.
I think there's a lot of criticism about British bias in F1. For that reason alone, I'm thinking C. I think it's because he's British. I think that's why we're putting him there. But then again, we've got a handful of other Brits in B. It's almost the British tier
It's
there.
the British club, isn't it? Yeah.
Barring Piastri.
Do you want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Yeah, all right. That sounds
go
good.
on then. All right, you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, he's going in B.
Very
Sorted.
good.
All right, settled there. Who have we got next?
Next up, we've got Fernando Alonso. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I'm wondering if you're going to maybe disagree with me here. Overrated? Very good driver. Very, very good driver, right? World class, 2-time world champion. Up there, right? Especially in his advanced years, still doing very well, still making Stroll look very average. Very good driver, but toxic to teams. That's, to me, pretty clear. Ever since, like, the sort of McLaren days when things didn't go perfectly his way, suddenly that team fell apart. Similar happened at Ferrari. It's not quite happened at Aston Martin yet, but he's not a good team player, basically. And for that, although he's a great driver, I'm thinking C.
I'm glad you said that and not me. I mean, firstly, making Stroll look average should not be there in terms of a list of achievements. That's not an achievement in itself. It's very easy to do. But, I agree with you, all the points that you're making, though. I do agree with all the points that you're making. You'll have some people on here that will say he's one of the best of all time that just never had the car. But he has. 2010, he had the car. 2012, he didn't have the car, but very nearly pulled it back anyway. And it's that sort of season that does make me, it feels very harsh to put him in C. To put him below Oscar Piastri, to put him below Jenson Button, who is a one-time champion, would you put him below Jenson Button?
Well, talk about Piastri, because Piastri is like the opposite. Piastri is the opposite of a toxic team member. He is the ultimate team member, keeps abiding by team orders that, frankly, none of us agree with. And at the end of the day, F1 is a team sport. There's 1,000 people behind each of these individuals trying to give them the best car. If you can't make those people work with you, you are not going to be a good driver. He had a good car in Renault when he won his 2 World Championships. Went up against a rookie. I know there was a lot of testing when Hamilton came in, but went against a rookie and couldn't beat him and basically stropped off and left the team in a bit of a state. Driving-wise, he should be A or S, but purely toxicity-wise, F1 is a team sport. I still think C.
He consistently outperformed the machinery.
He does. He's a great driver, but he makes the machinery worse by being a bad team player.
You can put him in C. I'm having no part of that. The comments can come for you on that one.
Well, luckily, I'm the one placed in there.
Are you going to settle on that?
I'm going to put him in C.
You settle in there?
I hope you enjoy your views out of this. I will settle there fine, but I'm not happy about it.
Hey, I did say he should be SOA as a driver. It's purely his toxicity.
Why would you put him there then? Okay, fine. We'll move on. Right, who have I got? Okay, Jochen Rindt. This is a tough one. Because again, it's a driver taken way too soon. The only posthumous world champion, 1970, I think it was. And he is seen by so many of his era as being one of those generational talents, and one of those drivers who is so good. But he never had the time to show it. So if we base it off what we see, maybe C in that case. But again, it feels unfair.
Again, before my era, I like that he's the only posthumous world champion.
You like that?
Well, I don't
That's
like
not the
that.
way I would phrase
I'm
it.
just saying it's unique, right? It sets him apart. He clearly was a great driver to, literally win a championship when he's no longer with us. That's impressive no matter which way you spin it. But yeah, equally, I don't think we can put him up with Vettel and Jim Clark.
I think it shows how good he was. If he could win that world championship, despite obviously not competing in the last 2 or last 3 races of the season, shows how dominant he was when he was in the sport.
But was it a 1-year thing? I genuinely don't know.
I think he'd grown and built up through the junior ranks and was seen as this emerging talent. And again, maybe it is a case, as you said with Senna earlier, that because he's no longer with us, do we maybe look more favourably on him because of that fact? But
I'm leaning towards B. My worry is that'll be B full, and the rest of them can't go in B, and we're loving B today.
We are loving B. Who have we got left? Oh, okay. I'm going to put him in C. I've just seen who else we've got.
Okay.
And I feel bad for that, but I'm going to go C.
Are you going to settle with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Too bad I already put it there, so I'm glad you settled with that.
All right, who have we got next?
Next up, Alain Prost. Got to be up there, 4-time champion, I believe. Known as the Professor, I think he was. Obviously went up against Senna. Huge rivalry with Senna. They ended up with a lot of respect for each other. I feel like we're leaning towards S tier, are we, maybe?
I'm glad you said that, because I think with Prost in particular, it's almost overshadowed. Everyone thinks about Senna, who supposedly won over that rivalry between the pair. Prost, of course, then went on and continued to win championships and got his last one in 1993 and then retired as a world champion. For me, if Senna's up there in S, I think Prost goes right along with him.
I agree. I don't think you can separate these two. It's got to be S tier.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, the Professor for his intelligence and efficiency in S.
Yep.
All right, who have we got next?
Juan Manuel Fangio.
Got there in the
So
end.
apologies for murdering that. Was he the first F1 world? No, he wasn't the first, but he was
Farina
around.
was the first. He
Yes.
won 5 championships in the 50s.
That's right. So
Yeah.
one of the dominant in the 50s.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
the first dominant
Yeah.
F1 driver, basically. Again, I mean, how do you compare him to someone like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton in completely different eras? I actually read up on him earlier. They wore paper mache helmets. I mean, what?
It's about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. That,
Exactly.
Isn't it? Like,
So
yeah.
I'm leaning towards S tier again. I mean, legendary status.
Completely with you. I think that has got to be. And you're a 5-time world champion. We look at who else we've got in there. We've got the 2 7-time world champions. You've got Max Verstappen in there. You got your Senna, your Prost, and I think Fangio fits in and completes our board quite nicely on that one. I mean, 5 world champions at a point in Formula One where it was so dangerous, and it was so. You go into any race thinking, that's it. This could be my last. Any corner even. So for me, for someone who have achieved that in that period of Formula One, it's got to be an S.
I agree. What I will say is the competition won't have been as fierce back then. It was more about the reliability and stuff.
I mean, reliability fine, but you've got your Stirling Mosses in that era. You've got your Ascaris, you've got your Farinas. Admittedly, these were much older guys compared to the races that we have now, which is why it's so hard to kind of rank them in comparison. But I think you've got to take that snapshot and look in maybe that decade, and for someone to do what he did in that decade and be so dominant despite everything else going on at the time, you've got to. And reliability, fine, but he would have suffered from that reliability as well.
True. Fun fact for you, I found out earlier, apparently if his car broke down mid-race, he would jump in his teammate's car and do the rest of the race, and they would share the result and the points between him and his teammate. That doesn't happen anymore.
Can you
That's a
imagine
bit
that
wild.
now with papaya rules? That would go. Oh, it would not go
Norris
down well.
just like pushing Piastri out of the way. I want to drive the rest of the race. Okay, S tier?
Yeah, S tier.
All right, guys, so as we can see, the board is filling up. I am going to give you the option to move drivers down if need be.
I think we need to, don't we? I think that B tier is getting a little bit too congested. And I know I initially was thinking A, but the odd one out in that list now is looking like JB or Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, I'm happy with S tier.
Yeah.
I hope there's no one coming up that we maybe need to try and squeeze in, because
S is fine.
to me, they are all the best drivers that have ever raced in F1. A-class, we still got a bit of space in that. I still wonder if
Brabham in
Emo's
A?
a bit high. I'm now thinking maybe Oscar's a bit high, especially as we've got Fernando down here in C.
That is a criminal offence having him down there
All
still.
right, should we move Oscar down and JB down?
Yeah,
Are we happy
okay.
to put Norris a tier above, though?
Given who will probably win the title this year, I think that's fair.
Okay, so let's move these guys down. And then, yeah, I think...
Do we want to move on down from A into B, or are we happy with who we have in B?
I'm quite happy now. I think that's good.
Okay.
I think we've improved it.
Is Fernando still C? Now we've got space in B. Can I tempt maybe put Fernando back up? Save yourself some face a bit there.
Just purely so I'm not hated by all Spaniards. I think I might have to put, he's a great driver. He is a great driver, but he is toxic. I'll stand by that, but fine. I will move him up. All right.
I'll take that as a win.
So
All right.
Fernando gets an upgrade. All right, who have we got next?
3 to go on my end. We have, Sergio Perez. This is a tricky one. This goes into that Ocon branch, but now we have a driver who has had an opportunity with the top team. Did fairly well with it initially. Arguably was pivotal in that 2021 race, just as pivotal as Michael Massey was. We won't get into that. But then, of course, he fell off. And that last year, or last really year and a half with Red Bull, we went into, I think, 2023 and he won, I think it was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and we were talking about this man as a potential championship contender. how wrong that feels now about a couple of years later, I think we're putting on par with Ocon is unfair, but putting him on par with Piastri feels unfair, and Jenson Button, who's a world champion down there in C, feels unfair. So maybe D is where we go with this one.
I mean, we've got a board of world champions. We've got a board of legends and world champions, so it's not surprised we're talking about D. He's a decent driver.
Oh, yeah.
So do you think he's better than Ocon, do you? I think he's very similar to Ocon.
I think, yeah, well, of course the two were teammates for a while at Force India, and of course, very explosive teammates, that being said. But was Ocon better or was Perez better? I think they were so level pegged, it's difficult to tell them apart. I mean, Perez was the one that went on and achieved that success. So if we look from a purely results base, I put Perez just ahead of Ocon, but again, Ocon didn't have that opportunity that Perez did, so it's tough.
It was a key part as well of Red Bull's dominance.
I think we've got to put him D-class. I think very similar to Ocon. We've got a board of legends here. If this was a board of just 2025 drivers, he'd be somewhere more in the middle, but on this board, he's got to be a D-class.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll be off the board on 2025. He's not there, but yeah,
True,
we'll go D.
All right.
Come on, can't deal with this. A little bit straight on that. Come on.
The OCD's kicking in.
All right, and who have we got next?
Nelson Piquet.
Oh, God.
Again, go back a few years. Decent driver, but again, way before my time. Go on, hit us with some stats, Will. You got them in your head, I know you have.
No, I don't.
3 times world champion he was.
Okay, so 3-time world champion. Obviously, we know his name, we know he's decent, we just haven't seen it ourselves, so it's hard to judge. We haven't got a film made about him like Senna or Rush, so it's also hard.
He was really highly respected though back in the day, and you think about some of the battles that you see with Piquet from the 70s and 80s, wasn't it? It was the 80s mainly. I think we're looking in this BA bracket definitely. Do we go into A? I think if Fittipaldi's on there, I say he's on par with Fittipaldi. I think those two side by side works for me.
I think I agree. 3-time world champion. I don't think we can put him below A.
We can't go B. No way.
He had a brilliant technical mind as well.
Yeah, I think it's got to be A.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Who have we got next?
Okay, we have the pioneer of safety, Jackie Stewart. This is 3-time world champion and an icon of our sport today, and one who has saved countless lives on top of that. So, again, I think we're in a similar situation to Piquet, where it's a lock in at A for me. But I also know who's coming next, and that's going to be really up there and contentious for that. But I think A.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Obviously a legend of the sport, another 3-time world champion. We maybe will have to move some people around if I don't know who's coming next, but I agree, he's got to be on par with these guys. I agree, A-class.
Sounds good.
Crucial safety advocate he was. All right, moving on. Who have we got next?
George Russell. So back to the more modern era where I can tell you a bit more about him. So obviously not a world champion, but just based on his 2025 season, like one of the best drivers of this season. Obviously a great driver regardless, but this season in particular has been amazing. I'd argue he's driven better than Lando Norris this season. I don't think we can squeeze him in A because I don't think we can put him alongside multiple world champions. But I think it's got to be B-class, and I don't think we can put him any lower than that.
Yeah, my initial rankings had him as A, but looking at what we've done to the board now, we have no space on A, and he's not a world champion. Yeah, I mean, that Mercedes is at best the 3rd fastest car this year. Probably on par with that Ferrari between 3rd and 4th, and yet he is winning races in it, and he did the same last year. There's no world championship, so we can't put him ahead of your Alonso's who have Jenson now down in C. I'm disagreeing. I know we're moving him about, but I think, yeah, we can't go lower than B, so go B. I think that's recency bias playing in there a little bit, but think about what this guy can achieve over the rest of his career. B works for me.
All right, I'm happy with that.
Settling there. All right, who have we got next?
So sticking with the current grid, Charles Leclerc. Yeah, that's the same. If I wasn't holding this card, that's exactly what I'd be doing as well. I think on a par with George Russell. I don't know whether you disagree with that, but he's been incredibly patient with Ferrari and putting up with everything they've thrown at him over the last few years. In a different world, in a different universe, this man is a world champion, maybe multiple world champion by this stage, with the opportunity for more to come. And the fact that he isn't is criminal, but again, we're locked out of A tier. He wasn't going to hit S tier, no way. I think alongside George in B.
I agree with the tier. What I will say is, I think F1 fans rate people who qualify well higher than people who race well, because there's that, ultimate who's the fastest moment of qualifying. And when someone like Charles Leclerc, who's amazing in qualifying, everyone goes, this guy's incredible. He is a good driver, don't get me wrong, but he's not on the level of Max Verstappen or something like that. I will also say he's been at Ferrari a long time. I think potentially he might have to leave Ferrari to prove himself. Has he got that in him, or is he too happy and comfortable at Ferrari? I don't know, but in terms of tier, I agree, it's got to be B-class.
Ferrari team leader he is as well.
Yeah, that's a controversial take now, but okay. Yeah, I think, definitely. We'll stick him in B. We'll
Settle in there.
Right, I'm out.
And last but not least, who have we got?
Well, we've got the top 3 tiers full now. I don't know who this is yet.
This could be
Kimi Räikkönen.
Ooh.
I think we might have been saved there, maybe. Yeah, he is world champion, of course. I'd argue, like some other world champions we've got on the board, right place, right time. We've got Jenson Button right there. I think very similar driver to Jenson Button. Fantastic personality. I miss him in F1 greatly. In terms of a driver, decent driver, not massively high up. I'd be pretty happy to put him in C just purely because of who we've got on this board.
He's a fan favourite as well.
Absolutely.
To factor that in.
Here's the thing, had he left at the end of 2009 and not come back, I think we'd be looking at BA tier definitely. And he did come back with Lotus and he won races for Lotus, and then he went to Ferrari, and again, he had the Hoover of a car in 2014, which didn't help. But only one race win from then on in. He was very clearly the second to Vettel at that time. It was kind of a waiting game every year. Is he gonna go at this point, or are they going to promote Leclerc? Are they going to promote somebody else? For me, I think that has hurt his standing in this a little bit. And yeah, we can put him down in C tier. I just think back to the McLaren year. I can't remember if it was 05. I think it was 2005 when he was competing with Alonso for the championship, and he could possibly in a different world have taken that championship. But he didn't, and so I think we stick with what we know, what we've seen, and that sounds like C tier for me.
I'm happy with that, but I'm gonna put him down, and I'm gonna immediately re-raise you, Lando Norris. I think we should put him down. We've got him alongside lots of world champions. We've got a couple of the modern drivers on the end there. I'd argue George Russell and Charles Leclerc, both better than Lando Norris. Primarily, mentally, Lando needs a lot of coaching these days. He was frankly dominated by Max last season. Very much recency bias last couple of races has obviously been incredible. He's a very, very good driver. I'd argue a Raikkonen level driver, and again, right now, we've got him a whole tier above Oscar Piastri. That feels generous.
Yeah, you know what, actually, you've sold me on that. I think that's a really good idea. I think that saves us quite a lot as well. We put him below your Graham Hills, your Damon Hills, your Fernando Alonso's as well. I think that's fair at this stage. I agree with that. I say move.
We are putting him below George Russell and Charles Leclerc, though. Thoughts on that?
No, I think that's fair. I think George and Charles haven't made... I don't think George has made as many mistakes. Charles, there have been a few in there. So I think move Lando down to C, keep the other two where they are, and then we at least have Oscar and Lando on a level pegging. So the McLaren fans can be angry, they can be united in their anger towards us. How does that sound?
Anyone else who want to move?
I'm pretty content with that. Jack Brabham in A. I look at that and think, no, I'm happy. I'm happy. I say we stick with that. I think that's a nice steps tier list we've got going on now.
I agree. I think we've had to move a few around. I think we've ended up with a very fair board. We've got legends in S. We've got multiple world champions basically in A.
Apart from Stirling Moss.
But regarded as the best driver to never win a world championship.
Yeah.
So kind of fair. B, we've got like very decent drivers, mostly world champions, regarded as very, very good. C, we've got good drivers, a couple of world champions in there, or at least one world champion there, but
two
yeah.
In there, yeah.
So decent drivers, but like maybe just a little step below, and then we've got Ocon and Perez.
In the depths of hell, yeah, okay. I think that works for me. I'm happy with that.
All right, so you guys settling with this tier list?
Settling with that.
All right, brilliant. Well, thank you both for putting this tier list together, and thank you guys for watching as well. We do want to know your thoughts on the tier list put together by Alex and Will, so do get active in the comments. Thank you both for joining us today on the show. I've been your host, Charlene Smith. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you never miss a showdown. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.